In a revolutionary development, the Defense Department Pentagon officially announced the presence of anti-gravity aircraft known as UFOs. This significant revelation has captured the attention of the world, marking the end of an era of curiosity and astonishment. These advanced aircraft, renowned for their near-impossible detection, are believed to draw inspiration from the iconic concept of flying saucers, often associated with extraterrestrial beings. So let's immerse ourselves in this groundbreaking revelation. The Pentagon has finally affirmed the existence of such powerful planes that are capable of defying the sonic barrier by tenfold. Over the years, there have been rumors about the US military having access to advanced weapons that seem way ahead of their time. People wonder where these technologies come from and what inspired them. What's interesting is that after looking at the timeline of sightings of weird objects from outer space and the development of cool stuff like lasers, there's a curious coincidence. In 1960, right after some mysterious orb sightings in the skies of Nevada, the first military laser, called the SARE project, was launched. Leading this project was a rather mysterious scientist named Theodore Maiman, who had an equally mysterious background. Maiman unveiled a fully functional laser using a ruby crystal. His sudden emergence in the scientific community has sparked speculation about where this laser technology came from. Maiman's project was a big deal, bringing about major technological progress. It led to the development of laser defense systems that could take out flying objects from a whopping 6 miles away. This technology paved the way for aircraft like the NGAD and Dark Star, which were designed with laser defense in mind. The NGAD fighter is a key component of the Next Generation Air Dominance program, which kicked off back in 2014. It's meant to be a real powerhouse 6th-generation fighter packed with top-notch features like high speed, altitude, stealth, and cutting-edge technology. With speeds reaching up to a staggering 1,800 miles per hour, it can zip around the skies, reacting fast and pulling off slick maneuvers in aerial dogfights. Plus, its stealth tech, thanks to some fancy coatings, makes it a real pain for radar to pick up, giving it a major edge in combat situations. One question keeps us wondering: was Maiman the brilliant mind behind this technology, or simply clever at using extraterrestrial elements? Regardless of the answer, nobody could have predicted how his project would revolutionize the US military. One of the coolest things about the NGAD fighter is how it taps into cutting-edge artificial intelligence. This allows it to think for itself, and even lead a group of drones, making it super versatile and effective in all sorts of combat situations. These drones are a big deal. They help spot and take out threats, making the fighter even more badass in battle. The NGAD fighter is changing the game in air combat, ushering in a whole new era where high-tech gadgets and smart strategies are shaking up the battlefield. With its blend of speed, sneaky stealth capabilities, and clever artificial intelligence, this fighter jet is a real powerhouse in today's warfare scene. It's a clear sign that military aviation is constantly evolving and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. On the other hand, the Dark Star is a top-of-the-line fighter jet built for air superiority. What makes it stand out is its incredible speed. It's the world's first aircraft capable of reaching speeds of 7,500 miles per hour. That's lightning fast. With this speed, it could make the trip from Washington to Beijing in less than an hour, and it can do it without being detected. But speed isn't its only advantage. The Dark Star is also equipped with a variety of weapons, including hypersonic air-to-air missiles, aviation bombs, and a powerful laser system. This makes it incredibly versatile and lethal in any combat situation. These aircraft are like something out of a sci-fi movie. They're pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Another example of a UFO is the TR-3B Black Manta. It's this triangle-shaped aircraft that's different from your typical planes. People who say they've seen it describe it as being able to fly quietly at low altitudes. The TR-3B Black Manta supposedly uses something called a vortex field generator, which is a real thing the US military has. This shift from wild ideas about aliens to using this technology makes one wonder where these advancements are coming from. The TR-3B is quite a mysterious aircraft. It's got all this fancy stealth tech that makes it super hard to spot on radar, leading people to speculate about what it's used for. things like secret spy missions or electronic warfare. It can hover silently and zoom around really fast without making a sound. Some say it's all due to this special propulsion system that's powered by a vortex magnetic field generator, allowing it to hit speeds over 1,860 miles per hour. The shape of the TR-3B is pretty weird, and when combined with its incredible abilities, it starts to look a lot like those UFOs we hear about. Unbeknownst to most people, these undetectable smart planes hold a secret purpose that goes beyond even our wildest imagination. The Pentagon even spilled the beans, revealing that the U.S. military has deployed these super-advanced planes, including the NGAD fighter during conflicts. Moreover, speaking of advanced aircraft, the U.S. Air Force is also sending over the B-2 Spirit bomber to Israel. The B-2 is a unique kind of bomber. It's what's called a flying wing aircraft, which means it doesn't have the usual body or tail you'd see on other planes. This design gives it some big advantages over older bombers. By using special technology to make it really hard to spot on radar and making it super efficient in the air, the B-2 can carry a lot of stuff while flying really high up. Building the B-2 was no easy feat. They had to use cutting-edge computer technology to design and build it because it's got some complicated flying abilities and needs to stay hidden from lots of different detection systems. Even though it's a big plane, it's so high-tech that it only needs one person to do a bunch of different jobs while someone else keeps an eye on things. The B-2 bomber was originally designed back in the Cold War days for sneaky nuclear missions, but it's been upgraded since then to do all sorts of precision attacks, not just nuclear ones. It can carry all kinds of weapons, from big old nuclear bombs to fancy cruise missiles and super accurate guided bombs. And they keep making it even better by adding stuff like a radar system that's really hard to detect, and a fancy digital navigation system. The way the B-2 flies is pretty high-tech too. It's got this computer-controlled system that keeps it stable even in tricky conditions, and it uses a bunch of different tricks to make itself harder to spot on radar, like special plates that sense the air around it. Overall, it's designed to be as sneaky as possible, with reduced chances of being seen or heard. Right now, there's a big change happening in how we do ground warfare. Tanks are getting a major upgrade. They're turning into these unmanned robots that people call killer robots. Take the Abrams tank, for example. It's now hooked up to a central computer, basically turning it into the first ever drone tank. It's this huge machine that can move around on its own, with big cannons, strong armor, and even its own little combat drones flying around. But it's not just on land. Things are changing in the sea too. AI controls these massive aircraft carriers. China, for instance, has built this huge unmanned aircraft carrier that's got its combat drones. These drones are super fast and have smart missiles, all controlled by computers. It's like different kinds of fancy technology are all coming together to change how we fight wars nowadays. In the world of military aviation, there are some pretty fascinating things going on. For starters, U.S. scientists have recently revealed some new aircraft that people are calling UFOs, which has sparked all kinds of theories about mysterious objects in the sky. Then there's this secretive project called the TR-3B Black Manta, which is supposedly a super-fast spy plane developed by the U.S. Air Force and Northrop Grumman. It's surrounded by secrecy, and people think it's got all sorts of advanced technology like stealth capabilities and super high-tech engines that go beyond what we usually see in planes. And let's not forget about the B-21 Raider, the latest nuclear stealth bomber from the U.S. Department of Defense. It's super hush-hush because it's part of efforts to update our nuclear weapons and stay ahead of potential threats, especially from countries like China. This bomber is packed with all kinds of cool stuff like advanced stealth features, sensors, and engines, showing that America is serious about keeping up with the latest in military technology. All in all, these developments show how military aviation and warfare on the ground are evolving with some seriously high-tech advancements to deal with new challenges and threats. Do you think these groundbreaking UFOs will play a role in modern warfare? Or are they destined to remain nothing more than a myth or aspiration? Share your thoughts on the potential impact of these innovative aircraft.